Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream from Player One Start. Today I am going to be playing Crash Bandicoot, the original version for PlayStation 1. And this is the one that I got years ago. And I think has some of the better box art, especially on the front and the back. And I decided to play the original one. This was based on my last live stream where I was actually going through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And this game was suggested to me. It was actually suggested I go through the entire trilogy. I thought about showing the Insane remake, but since I usually focus on retro games on this channel, I decided to go ahead and play the originals, which, I don't know, I haven't really decided which ones I think are better yet, but maybe that'll be a video in the future. But anyway, we'll get started here in just about another minute, so if people are filtering in, please say hi in the chat, and I'll get started here in just a little bit. Alright guys, it is 6 o'clock in my time, so I am going to go ahead and get started. Remember, if you guys would like to introduce yourself in the chat, let me know you're here. I'll be happy to chat with you throughout this. Today I'm going to be playing the original Crash Bandicoot, and from what I remember, this game is the most difficult of the original trilogy, at least in my opinion. So bear with me, as this is the first time I played it in quite a while. I've gotten used to the Insane trilogy, which is different from this version, mainly because the original version of Crash Bandicoot uses a different engine from 2 and 3, and I think in the Insane trilogy it uses the same engine on all of them, so there was really no differentiation there. And just to let you know, I am going to be playing this. I am going to be playing this on a PlayStation 2, so the DualShock 2 controller here. This is actually being live streamed through my capture card, being upgraded to, I believe it's 720p HD. And it's a PS2 Slim. I don't have any of the enhancements turned on, so this is still going to look like it would as if you were playing it from an original PlayStation. That way I don't run into any issues with the conversion and lag and such. Interesting note, when I did start this out, I was having trouble getting it to accept my component cables into here, and I think it's because when it plays PlayStation games, it actually tries to convert component back into composite, and that was messing with my capture card. So, oh yeah, first thing I noticed off right away that I forgot about is I cannot use the DualShock controller. I have to use the D-pad.
What have I got?
So I remember, I've heard a lot about the history of Crash Bandicoot, and maybe I'll do a video on it sometime if you guys are interested in that. But I remember they tried to call it basically Sonic's rear end game, because you'd be staring at the back end of each character. And I did hear stories about them using obscenities for all the enemies in this game. So in the code you'll find some very vulgar language describing the enemies in this game. Just a couple things that I've learned about this game over the years. I hope I make it. Do you think I made it? I'm not sure if I did. see if I got all the boxes in time. No, there's one box left. I didn't notice that before now. There is no box counter on this game. Well, as I said, I'm not very good at this first game, but it looks like I'm going to miss all those boxes now. And it's very hard to get those boxes without the mask. That's 6 lives. I'm on a chance at this time. If I don't get it, I'll just... Yeah. And this is what that plagues me throughout the entire game, is the depth perception and how far forward I'm actually going to jump. Oh, it didn't tell me how many boxes I missed. I thought it did that initially.
What have I got? What have I got?
Like I was starting with the second level in the game. They were letting you know there's no possible way for you to get all the boxes. You have to come back to this one later after you learn something else. I used to be a lot better at this. Oh yeah, and I can save to my memory card if I'd like. Or, I have the password. Let's just do the password. In case any of you want to still use the password to get through it. That's actually a way to beat this game without actually having to go through everything. And that could be the first way that I beat this game. Might have been with the password. See, now it's letting me know that I missed boxes.
What have I got? What have I got? Oh, my goody.
That level always gives me anxiety. Hey, Carlsberg. Thanks for joining us.
What have I got?
Or joining me. I missed this one. Oh, yeah. I always like to point out that the first game I played for the PlayStation was Crash Bandicoot 3. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just picked it because I thought it looked cool. And from there, so glad I did. Oh, I didn't see. So I ended up playing these backwards, and that's why, yeah, that's why I ended up liking them better. But I think they get more difficult the more farther back you go. So I thought playing them backwards is probably the... Whoops. I didn't even see how I died. I guess I need to pay more attention to the screen. Oh, yeah, that's that fish. I always found those hard to see for some reason. So right up on them.
What have I got?
You feel once you find the rhythm of the level. Oh, I didn't want to miss that. It usually gets easier. This is where I usually mess something. Yep. You gotta find the rhythm and then keep going with it. Do I get a second chance? I don't remember. Huh. That was weird. Doesn't look like you get a second chance. But it's funny, if you fail at the stage, you don't get to save your game. I remember that from back in the day. I remember in the Insane Trilogy that they changed this boss fight, but they really didn't make it any harder. I mean, I really feel like this is one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. And all they did was like, oh, you gotta hit him more times. Oops. Such a pushover. Pun intended. I remember the first time I saw this title and I thought, it's another Boulder level already. But it ended up being just another one like Jungle Rollers. I wonder if I'm getting thrown off on the timing and all this now, because it is different in the Insane Trilogy. And since now I'm used to playing that just a little bit more, I'm going that's throwing me off. Or maybe I'm just making excuses. I'm not playing it so long. Oops. Chat box. There we go. I notice how I always die right before the next checkpoint. It's never really anywhere close to it usually. If I remember correctly, there is a hidden... Yep. Oh, not I can't remember where the last nitrous brio mask is. Oh no! I think it's somewhere up there.
What have I got?
Yeah, I can't remember that last mask is for nitrous brio. Oof. You know what? Because I'm not doing so hot with memorizing where things are at, I'm just going to speed through this one. I'm not going for the hidden gems or anything like that anyway, so... Uh-oh. One of my favorite levels is the Hog Wild level. Oh, I missed the first box. I'm gonna die so I can try it again. I'm gonna try to get all the boxes. Oh, and I forgot my lives are reset too. So all those lives I earned in the first few levels are gone. You know what, since I don't have the lives, I think I'm not going to go back to that box. Just play it safe. Beat the level. Rendering a video taking forever. Oh yeah, that is I finally completed a rough draft of an upcoming video I have, and yeah, it took forever. It's actually one of the bigger videos I've ever created. It actually might be the biggest, so that took a while to do. Yeah, I don't know. This is the first time I played the original trilogy since the Insane trilogy's come out. And, you know, like, for some reason, I think the physics are a little bit different. I remember noticing that at first in the Insane trilogy, but
What have I got?
I guess I'm noticing how different they are in this one. don't know how many times I used to hit that box and then dive right off into the cliff because it just kept rolling me forward. There we go. It's that password. I'm actually going to save my game to the memory card like last time. Alright, and now let's try not to fall off again so I don't have to activate others. Oh. Wait.
What have I got?
There we go. For some reason I have the hardest time with that in the Insane Trilogy. And then for everyone's favorite shortcut through this level. I remember I accidentally made it back here one time, and I thought I was going to fall right off. I don't like where it ends up, which is on this flame. Yep, which still hits you, even though you're not directly above it. Make sure I keep at least one mask. Should have went. If I'm right, yeah, this is the one. Oh, that was not the one. There's one where there's three. If you don't do, yeah, here we go. If it's not done in the right succession. Yeah. How many times that threw me off when I first played this game. And apparently they knew it would because there's a whole bunch of lives they didn't know you were going to be. I like it when it goes whew at the end because that's usually what I'm doing. Oh, let's see who else is. Oh, chat's really busy. Yeah, Insane does have different physics. I think it's because they used a different engine initially for the first game. So when they redid it, they just used the same engine for all of them. And that really messed up some things. Oh, hey, Nick Quest. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you never knew about that shortcut? I remember it just happened by accident. I actually thought I fell off, and I was waiting to respawn, and I thought the game locked up, and then I realized if I move left and right, I can walk. Yeah, I usually don't talk over this game when I play it too much because I do like the soundtrack to it. I remember the initial plan for the soundtrack was to make it what they called an urban symphony, where the only sounds they would use are like sounds you would naturally hear in some sort of urban environment, like using car horns and beepers and stuff like that. So I think they kind of carried that idea over a little bit by making it more of a... I can't talk and do this at the same time. By making it more of like instruments you would expect to hear in that environment. So they have a native fortress that have like primitive drums and a xylophone type instrument. I'm very glad they didn't do things like car horns and sirens and things like that. I'm getting too nervous now. So I'm not quite sure. Do you guys think they're going to continue to remake any more of the Crash games, like the Crash Team Racing, or perhaps do the Wrath of Cortex and all the other ones in an HD remake, or are they going to try to make their own? I think I'd almost be game for a brand new game rather than another remake. But if they did Crash Team Racing, I would not be too upset with that. That box right there has messed me up so many times. Maybe jump at the wrong time. Yeah, I'd really like to see Crash Team Racing make a comeback. It's been a while since the PlayStation's actually had a good kart racing game. I would actually be okay if they remade Crash Nitro Kart 2. Because I kind of felt like they did a good job with that one. Those boxes. And then that way they can do online or multiplayer. That's DC. And I'm not quite sure, but if they did... Oh, thanks, Lucian. I appreciate it. Yep. I'll still be on here for a little while. Yeah, I actually would consider paying for PlayStation Plus again if they did a kart racing. Oh, that's not going to work. Because right now I currently don't have a PlayStation Plus account. Sonic All-Stars. Yeah, Sonic All-Stars Racing coming out would be a good one too. I do like that game, but I thought it was kind of weird that they put Sonic in a go-kart because isn't he supposed to be fast on his feet? Like the original Sonic are. Actually had him racing on foot. But I guess karts were kind of a hot thing, and you weren't racing on a kart, I guess you weren't racing very properly. Get another easy boss fight. I know what you're doing. Oops, I set my phone down. So. And here's where I think the game takes a completely ridiculous turn in terms of how hard it gets.
What have I got?
There are some hard stages, and yeah, the castle machinery, and when you start getting to the castle, that stuff gets hard too, but this is, I think, a turning point when the game starts kicking it up a notch and saying, alright, no more Mr. Nice Guy, we're going to start throwing some curveballs at you. See, for some reason, that's a move I have a hard time executing in the Insane Trilogy. Is hitting the bats correctly. Yep. Yeah, I just missed it too. Go past. Ripperoo. I remember actually not knowing what his name was for the longest time, because I just kind of ignored that when doing it. I guess he was in Crash Bandicoot 2. That was nice. I wasn't even intending to do that. I better get used to that. I gotta get the time. This isn't even the hard part. I don't think this bodes well for me. There we go. Where'd I miss? Oh, I gotta go up those stairs again. I remember thinking that you couldn't touch the edge there because it looks like it's glowing red. So. think I was going to make it. How I landed next to it. Sorry I'm being quiet, but I am trying to concentrate. I missed one of the fauna masks. I did see, was that you that posted something about Forsaken earlier today? I think I saw somebody post something about that. And it did make me think about it. I don't know if I've ever played that game. And that comes from me having a
What have I got?
PlayStation 1 instead of an N64, back when we had to choose which consoles we got. You see me fail a little bit more miserably each time. Whoa! Somehow I got stuck.
What have I got?
I can't imagine the people who speedrun these games. How many times they must have played it before they finally found the right rhythm to get to it. Because I played this game dozens of times, and I still get thrown off by things every once in a while. That was you. So, what kind of a game is Forsaken? Is that like a first-person shooter? Is it a strategy, or is it an action game? I guess I would ask who. Well, at least I didn't have to go very far. Keep an eye on both of the obstacles there. There we go, some new people in the chat. Thanks for joining us, guys. And you can see what happens whenever I look away from the screen is I forget to keep paying attention to what's going on. Almost got impaled. That happened to me a lot when I first played this game. Couldn't slow down my momentum when I was hitting things.
What have I got?
Interesting. So, Forsaken is I'm probably gonna die. No, I didn't. So, Forsaken being a first-person shooter, you remember who made it? Was it made by like a? I think I know all the Rare games. But how would it compare to something like a GoldenEye or maybe even Call of Duty? That is right. Yeah, I was wondering because I actually played Medal of Honor. I guess it's been a little while now, for the first time in forever, and I was very shocked at how different the control scheme is.
What have I got?
I'm gonna pause for a second here. More like Doom. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better than what Medal of Honor ended up being. Let's see. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, so I'm going to wait a little bit and see if we can get back up. Alright, so my screen says it's going, and nobody's watching. But anyway, I'll see if people can get back on. Still buffering, huh? Right now I have a paused push select from map screen. Let's see if I can... Yep, good. I did make a change on here, so hopefully that comes back. Sorry about that, guys. Blame it on my internet connection. I've been actually waiting to get fiber in my neighborhood for a while. I'm actually going off of a cable internet connection at the moment. And every once in a while it does like to drop. But I was surprised during my last stream I didn't seem to have an issue with that at all. I think I'm going to die. That boulder's catching up with me. Yep. Perfect, thanks. Thanks for sticking with me through that. If I'm right, is this the level that they put in Uncharted 4? I think this is the one. Because I remember the first level is easier. And for some reason, that boulder's catching up with me a lot quicker than I remember. There we go. And I had a hard time with it at Uncharted 4. I just kind of kicked it off to the fact that I didn't have any practice before going into that level. Whoops, I think I just did it. Surprised I made that. Oh yeah, there's a TNT box on there. So I am surprised I'm doing... I was just about to say, I am surprised I'm doing as well as this one. I was going to say, I am surprised I'm doing as well on this one because I know that my graphics, I'm sorry, my capture card introduces a little bit of a delay. And I know that on a game like this, where you have a lot of precise jumps you have to make, it can cause issues. That's the home stretch. Surprisingly, I did a better job of that than I thought I was going to. This one. This one's another one of the levels I don't really care for these two. I think graphically these levels look gorgeous. I mean, I really like the look and feel of this level. Very colorful. Having it at sunset I think was a nice touch. But I don't know. These levels are not my favorites. Then again, anything beats the high road. The high road or road to nowhere, one of those two. Let's try this here. I was trying to think of how many glitches I had tonight because I did have a point where the game soft-locked when I got to one of the first save points, when I got to 13%. I had to recomplete that level. And then I had my stream. I had a problem getting it started to begin with, but I thought I had it fixed because I switched from component cables to composite cables. For some reason, the component cables were causing an issue when I switched over to PS1 games on this system. And my capture card was going haywire. So I guess that's the advantage of pre-filming videos that I put out, is that I can get all the glitches edited out. Make it look a little bit more professional, but I think I'm... Oh, I forgot. I cannot spin them. So this really shows a retro style of gameplay that I think not very many games pull off anymore. And that is, you just keep going and experimenting, and you get a little bit farther each time in the level. And then you just have to memorize your path. So each time I'll get a little bit farther. I'd really like to have kept that mask. Same thing here, I gotta be careful of the bats. And let's go. Perfect. Perfect. Take care of that word. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's something back there, but I'm not going for it. If I was going for 100% completion, I would go for it, but I don't like my odds with this game. Yeah, I should have went the last time. So that's just brilliant. Yeah. Well, and I'm pointing out more differences now between the remaster and the original because I guess I didn't realize it when I was playing it because it had been about a year since I popped this disc in. Because I usually try to play this game once a year, and last year I played the remaster trilogy instead. So I have to wait a little bit. Yeah, so it was actually your suggestion, Nick, that made me play this game, so instead of doing the Insane Trilogy, which in my year one video, a lot of people found out that that's the first video I did for this channel. Although it wasn't a live stream, I kind of did it as like a guide. Rather than a... So I did like a playthrough instead of a live stream. I guess I didn't know I had live stream capability at that time because I was doing it on the PlayStation 4. And I don't know. I hope that the HD remake doesn't eventually overshadow the. I hope that the HD remake doesn't overshadow the original. I don't think it will, but I just know that eventually, once something doesn't feel like it's relevant anymore, people seem to kind of scrap them. So, for example, I actually own the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy on the PlayStation 3 and PSP. But now that the Insane Trilogy is out, I don't know if they'll ever offer the original trilogy again on the PS4. Because that'd be awesome if I can play this on the PS4 and then live stream that. But I guess they really want you playing the HD remake and not the original anymore. But I think it's a little bit strange. I guess they upscale it better. I may have to quit talking. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for a second. Hang on, I'll finish that thought in a moment. Yeah, I should have waited. All right, I'll get the timing down here. Huh. I think this is the part of the level I was thinking of when I said I didn't like these levels anymore. go, go. And each time I die, I'm gonna have to do that again. I just spun away the mask. Not a smart thing. Oh, I forgot. Whew, I thought all those bats were going to come flying at me and I was going to die. Oh, I had it too. Yeah. Whew. That was scary.
What have I got?
Oh yeah, I should have seen that coming. That's good.
What have I got?
I kind of wondered how many years of my life I've lost due to stress that video games cause. Wait for the bats to... Yeah, finally. That's why I like having the mask. That just makes it look like I'm going to have to do this again. Wow. Out of all the things to get stuck by, it's the easiest wall to get past.
What have I got?
Faster. Okay. So I hope you guys like the music this level, because it sounds like you guys are going to hear it for quite some time. It's not it, so I'm not going to get the extra one. Oh yeah, I'm not this one. It's close.
What have I got?
It's close. I realize my camera's not on. I think maybe that's what's causing my stream to lag is when I turn that camera on. So I'm going to turn that back off. I think I got the timing now. Together. I'm going to ignore that extra life until I lose it. There we go. Yeah, this is taking your time on these levels definitely helps. %, complete. I was using the passcodes earlier because that was a little bit more nostalgic before the days of having a memory card. Kind of surprised these memory cards still work and still hold a save. Something about this that Naughty Dog likes, jumping from one moving platform to the other. Because they do that a lot in this game. This guy only got some extra lives. Don't walk off the cliff. Yeah. Probably one of the hardest levels in the game, and one thing I don't like about this is you have to beat the next boss and the next level before you can save past it. Sometimes I have a problem with Koala Kong. He's actually the first challenging boss, I think, in this game. But anyway, what I was trying to say earlier was... I think it's kind of... I just hope that they don't replace this game completely with the HD remake, because I do think that, in a couple of ways, it is a little bit inferior. And of course, people don't... We find these graphics nostalgic now, but in the future, kids are going to find these graphics, I guess, dated, old, and not relevant. Yeah. Well, what's kind of weird is also these memory cards. I think I just learned something new about this boss fight. But anyway, one thing I think is kind of weird about these old memory cards is that this is a generic memory card that I'm using. It's actually got a button on it that will double the amount of saves that you can get on it. Again, that's something today's kids will never know the struggle on. Yeah, I didn't know you could wait to spin that back until just now. Maybe that's why I always have problems with this boss fight. I wonder if... Yes, you can even spin those. Oh, this boss fight just got so much easier. But anyway, yeah, this is a generic... I forgot who made it. It's called Performance. And yeah, it's a double memory card. You press the button and it gives you double the amount of saves. So you can save 15 blocks on one side and then click it and it changes over to side B and you can save 15 more blocks on it. And surprisingly, it's still holding up just as well as my original Sony branded cards. So, of course, now that I say that, tomorrow I'm going to plug these in and nothing's going to be gone. Or nothing's going to be there, it's all going to be gone. I do like the beat of this song. It definitely gives you the impression that you moved on to another area. It's a lot faster paced than the relaxing music you had during Sunset Vista. Yeah, and that's something that's sad. But then again, is Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers, not the new Super Mario Brothers like games, do kids still play that? I did see a video the other day of somebody had their kid playing it and they were enjoying it, but I'm wondering, is that something that a lot of people do, or do they just go for the newer ones? There is a piece of hardware that I plan to review on my channel called a DEX drive, which was meant for PlayStation memory cards. You ever heard of those? It's called a DEX DEX drive. I'm just getting through it so I can save. So what a DEX drive is you can hook it up to your computer and it allows you to hook up your PlayStation memory card into a computer. And the purpose is you can keep your one memory card with 15 blocks, but then you can save. You can take game saves off and put your game saves back on later, depending on the game you're playing. So for example, when I got Final Fantasy VII, I was actually saving, using multiple blocks. And whenever I'd fill the memory card up, I would actually just take all of them off but one and save it to my computer in case I wanted to get back to one later. So I took all my other game saves off, saved it to a floppy disk, and then put them all back on when I wanted to play other games. So it was very useful back in the day to keep you from having to buy so many memory cards, which is why I only have two. Whoops. How about this guy? So yeah, they're very interesting. I have not checked to see if mine still works, but I do still have mine, and it is one of the few accessories that I've had since I've had the device, and I still have the box for it. So yeah, I definitely plan to review that sometime, because I don't see anyone else mentioning these either. Oh, I just messed up. Yeah, but it was also a good way to cheat. Not that I ever thought of using it for that, of course. So you could find a game that somebody else had beat, and then they put their game save online. So all you had to do was just load their game save, and you had the game beat 100%. So there was two incentives. Number one, we didn't have to buy that many memory cards. We can spend more money on games. And number two, if we couldn't beat a game or if we didn't have enough time to unlock everything in a game, then we could just get everything unlocked automatically by looking online. And I still haven't looked if... I remember the sites that I used to go to were all like Yahoo GeoCities sites. Like stuff that doesn't even exist anymore, so I wonder if people still have their old PlayStation memory card saves online. I guess they might, because emulators could probably use those. And also, come to think of it, if those floppy disks don't work anymore that have the drivers on it, I'm going to have to look online and see if anyone has those online too. Anyway, it's something I plan to cover in the future and just not really announcing it yet because it's going to be a while till I get to that, because I also want to wait till I review the Sony PlayStation. I'm a couple generations away from getting to that. Oops. These lives. And as far as I know, they only made a dex drive for the PlayStation 1. They didn't make it for PS2 or any other console after, or even for like N64 or anything else. I want to say, let me think, Interact maybe is the company that made it. It was either Interact or something like Game Shark. Whoever made them probably would have made the dex drive. I just tried to spin a lightning bolt. That is how distracted I am.
What have I got?
Hopefully I don't kill myself. Which I think the only time someone says that and people are not concerned is when they talk to a gamer. Hopefully I don't kill myself. Forgot which way. It's this way. I really don't like that they force you to go back through some of these levels backwards when you want to get all the rest of the collectibles. It just seems like they were looking for easy ways to make the game longer at that point. And of course they put hazards that you couldn't possibly see in your path. Thought I had it. Gonna get all these Wampa fruit. Have I ever 100% this one? Actually, yes. I did make a point. Gosh, it's been about it's been over 10 years ago, but right around the time the PlayStation 3 came out, I had already 100%ed Crash Bandicoot 2 and Crash Bandicoot 3, but this game was giving me the most troubles doing it, and I remember I sat at like, what was it, 97 or 99%, one of those two, for the longest time, and finally I was able to get, I think it was the second level key. No, I got that earlier. But anyway, I can't remember which level I was stuck on. It was probably the Road to Nowhere or the High Road, one of those two. That game, that level just... I can't say enough bad things about that one. But yeah, I have 100% of this game, but it's been a long time. And I remember thinking when I did it the last time, I kept saying, never again. And of course now I'm back here playing it again. So usually when I play this game each year, I don't beat it 100%. But I do beat the game regularly. Oh yeah, that platform drops. Yeah, eventually that whole thing drops, yep. I will say, I don't know if this is the hardest game I've I've learned that after a while. Never say never is definitely correct. But that is my motivation to get through some of these levels. Like whenever I have to beat the high road, or I keep saying that it's the bridge level. Whenever I have to beat the bridge level, I always say, well, at least I don't have to play that level again. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. I really don't like how if you can't beat that special stage, which is supposed to be a bonus,
What have I got?
then you can't save your game. Well,
What have I got?
let's try that again, shall we? So you can tell I'm getting a little bit more impatient the more I play this. I'm just wanting to speed through levels. And I can't really do it. You know what? Any other Crash games you favor other than the original trilogy? You know what? I do like, actually, I would say the next ones I like are the Game Boy Advance trilogy. Yeah, the Game Boy Advance games that came out. Those are pretty good. The Huge Adventure and Entranced. I really did like those, but I also liked The Wrath of Cortex. A lot of critics panned that game by saying, oh, they didn't add anything new to the Crash formula, and they just copied what Naughty Dog did. And I sat there going, well, what's the problem with that? It's called a Crash game. And even though a lot of people liked Twinsanity, I didn't get into it as much. So I would say, yeah, starting with the Game Boy Advance ports first, I really like those. Yeah, Crash Team Racing's pretty good too. Whoops. I guess I should be paying more attention to what I'm doing on the screen. Um, so I don't know. When everyone says the original trilogy, I actually include Crash Team Racing in that. And I think that's just because it's made by Naughty Dog, and everyone, I guess, kind of throws those together with the original Naughty Dog games. So yeah, Crash Team Racing is pretty good. I also like Crash Nitro Kart. I thought that was a very good port. I can't remember if Traveler's Tales also did that. I got my timing wrong. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I guess I don't really think about the Game Boy Advance ports chronologically. Why are these things on different speeds? I just noticed that. I think that's why I keep getting hit. Yeah, actually, I have never finished Twinsanity. And like I said, it's not that I thought it was a bad game, but I remember thinking to myself, this doesn't really feel like Crash. Like, I don't know why, I just said it looked like someone had a good game developed, but decided to put Crash on it so they can sell it more. But I've learned just recently from the developer, one of the developers of Twinsanity, that Twinsanity was from the ground up a Crash Bandicoot game, and I think they made it that way just to address all those concerns of, oh, they didn't add anything new to the series. Oh, I gotta go through all that again. So I gotta get the timing down on this. Wait, go. So I gotta be on this side of the platform. Jump. Yeah, Crash Bash was interesting. That's a good one. I actually didn't even think about Crash Bash. I liked that game when it first came out, and I guess I just haven't played it since then. But it kind of reminds me of, they were trying to shoot for their version of Mario Party, and I hadn't played Mario Party when Crash Bash came out, so I thought it was kind of weird that they decided to make like a party game out of it, and then I found out it wasn't really made by Naughty Dog, and it was just another cash grab at the moment. But I had no idea where that concept even came from. Alright, now I'm confused. I did not remember this part of the level at all. But I was confused why they made a game like that. I was hoping for a CTR style skill-based racer. You know what? And I think if they don't do that, I think that's a lost opportunity. They really do. I was thinking like an HD remake of Crash Team Racing, but even a sequel. Do what Mario Kart did. Have the game be brand new with different features, and feature some of the older tracks. From both, they have 2 games to go from. They have Crash Nitro Kart and they have Crash Team Racing. And then online play, I think, would just seal the deal for me. Alright. Yogi Bear's evil cousin here has got to be taken on. And this is, again, another level I have a hard time beating in the Insane Trilogy. It's like every time I try to jump over a barrel, I get hit by it there. When normally in this game, I would make it through, no problem. So you can kind of see these barrels are starting to wobble a bit more. Not quite bouncing yet. Well, I still got it. Yeah. I know I wasn't timing that right. But I still went for it. Alright. Just slightly off each time. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, they do have anti-gravity sections in a Nitro Kart. And to tell you the truth, maybe that's why I thought that wasn't such a big deal when I did it, because I remember Nintendo saying that, once we had the anti-gravity sections in place, we just knew we had a hit on our hands. And I thought, sat there going, they didn't do that before? So yeah, you're right, I didn't even think about that. That's why I thought that they had done that before, but it was actually Crash Nitro Kart that had. This is where I really wish I had a mask. So if I can get away with just... Oh, of all the things to be hit by. Splat. I guess I do say I do like the death animations they do in this game. And in Crash Bandicoot 3, I actually found myself dying on purpose just to see what the animation would be. My favorite death animation is still to this day in the double header level. Gosh darn it. Pancake Bandicoot. I know, I got 61 lives and I gotta save them all for the high road. In my original playthrough of the Insane Trilogy, I started out that level with, I want to say, 60 lives, and by the time I was done, I had 0 lives. I had used every single one of my lives to beat that level. And on the last life, I beat it, and I was very shocked that I did it on the last life. Because I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do a Hail Mary. It took forever for me to get the timing down on that level. Oops. Thanks, Top Spot 123. Appreciate that. Never got that far in the PS1. Yeah, I agree. I think if I had played this game first, I may not have played another Crash Bandicoot because of the difficulty. But I actually ended up playing the third game first, because I got my PlayStation in 1999, and I picked out Crash 3 because it just looked fun. Let's get my time Nope. Didn't get that timing. almost made it. There's the exit. Look at that. Hey, welcome back, Nick. Sorry, I didn't realize you left. Yeah, Pancake Bandicoot. The high road now. Yeah, and I know every level I beat here, I'm having anxiety about getting back to that level. I thought this level was very good as well. And this is why Pinstripe ended up being my favorite boss to beat, other than, you know, Cortex. Although I always found Koala Kong to be the hardest to beat. Oops, get around him, get around him. He is the worst shot with that machine gun. I stood in front of him point blank range, and he did not get it. I am not looking forward to this level. This is the level I've been dreading all night, and it's finally here. I don't know if I should turn the camera on so you guys can see me, because I'm going to be mouthing some curse words in this, I'm sure. I like how in this level you're greeted with 2 lives, because, you know, you can never have enough lives. Oh yeah, and this thing. Let's see if I can get this. You guys know this existed back here? Yep, that's a thing. Alright, here we go. This isn't even the part I'm dreading, I'm just getting warmed up here. Yeah. Something about that warthog I don't like. Could be the fact that he reminds me of Bacon, and I don't want to hate Bacon, but I do hate that warthog. Here it is, folks. Everybody remember the first time they played this level and they killed this turtle? Instead of bouncing on them, they just spun them away. So, at that point, you are out of luck. Oh. And you have to pretty much start over. There's also another hidden secret around here in one of these where you can move to the left or right, but I cannot remember which way it is, so I'm just going to... Alright guys, sorry again for the other interruption. I'm hoping that this will... Hoping that will work itself out. Oh yeah, here's one thing I didn't like. Here's another reason why I didn't like this level. I didn't like it because you can save here, but if you die in the next level, you have to come back here and beat it again. And then you don't have the luxury of 1,001 lives like I have now. Definitely not going to do that. Thanks for letting me know, Nick. I'm just going to blame it on the high road because that's everything's fault is on the high road. Okay. Yep. You know what? I'm going to say that is a personal best. I have never completed the high road like that before using only that many lives. How many times did I die? Like 4 or 5? Wow. Oh yeah, now here's the other kicker. Slippery Climb, which is another difficult level in and of itself. But if you don't get to the save point, you got to go back and repeat the high road. I honestly can't believe I beat that level already. Yep. Again, I like not going for 100% the first time through because then you're able to focus on enjoying the game rather than trying to get everything and worry about, oh, I gotta miss that box and I'm gonna go back for it. I do like the lighting effects with the lightning, but that does get a little trippy after a while. I forgot how long it takes to get to a checkpoint in this level. And I forgot you can't jump off of that when you... I'll go through all that again. I like how Naughty Dog admits that they were trying to make this the most difficult level ever. Which they did with, what was it? I forgot what the name of the other level is. This is Slippery Climb, so that one is... I'm drawing a blank. What's that hidden level that you can access in this one, but it's built into the Insane Trilogy? It's supposed to be the hardest level ever made for Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. Definitely could remind me of an acid trip, just I think it's really meant to mess with your head as you're playing the game. I don't think these stairs would be so bad if you can jump back to safety instead of going right into the spikes. Come on, jump. I think that's what makes this level difficult, is the amount of times you have to restart from the beginning rather than a checkpoint. That's when I go here. I know it doesn't get any easier, but it sure as heck beats starting from the beginning. Yeah. That was foolish. Should have waited. Did it again. I wonder if I just make a loop around, that'll help me with that. I'm not used to having this many lives actually on this level. I'm used to having the high road drain me. So imagine if you can't complete this with the amount of lives you have to go and complete the high road again. And then this line. Oh. Not knowing where you are. Right before I get the Aku Aku mask, I get a... Yeah, I forgot the sequence to doing that. So hopefully it gets me there. Oh, thank you. That's actually, again, another personal best for me, I think. Ah, I may actually get this game. I don't think I've ever tried to. I don't think I've ever actually beat this game from start to finish in one sitting. Usually I take a break at some point. This game is just a straight run through it. Try to get as far as you can. What gets me is when a corner comes up, I'll get stuck. Surprisingly, I like these levels better than the bridge levels. For some reason, I have a lot less anxiety. Maybe it's because I can't see the floor and everything else. Yep, I learned that trick a long time ago to save myself from that platform. Because for some reason, every single platform moves towards you when you jump, except for that. Somehow, Neo's castle has not paid its electricity bill, and it's infested with armadillos. It's something.
What have I got? What have I got? What have I got?
Nope. My light's gonna run out too quickly.
Oh, my goody.
Yeah. I don't have the levels memorized that much.
What have I got?
Such a hard time. There we go. I thought I had it.
What have I got? What have I got? What have I got?
Nope. And again, my light's gonna run out too soon.
What have I got? Oh, my goody. What have I got? What have I got?
Oh, that wasn't good. Maybe it was.
What have I got? Oh, my goody.
Nope, that was not.
What have I got? What have I got? What have I got?
Oh, still not good. I'm surviving longer. Look at that.
What have I got? Oh, my goody.
You'd think I would have this memorized by now, but I sure as heck don't.
What have I got?
Just like that.
What have I got? What have I got?
Well,
What have I got?
yeah, I am rushing it. As I said, the more I play this game, I get more impatient, so I just try to go for it. But I still got through Jaws of Darkness. Should be the last of these levels. Nope. don't know about you, but it looked like I was just about to fall off of that, and then it let me jump. So I'll take that. Yep. All the way back to the beginning. It's like they thought making the game harder meant giving you less checkpoints.
What have I got?
I don't know how people accurately judge the distance on that. Your mobile's at about 5%. Yeah, I don't think your phone's going to make it to the end of this game. Especially the way I've been playing it. There's my first checkpoint. Bounce. Hit. Jump. So if I remember correctly, just the speed of this thing is what the problem is. So I jump over. Gem paths not open yet, so I can only I don't know if I could attempt that again if I tried. Just jumping in front of the box and not on the box. Oh. Yeah. So I'm getting back to my impatientness. Jump. Jump. That's funny that it worked one time, but it doesn't work the other time. It must be on a different cycle. One thing that's really keeping me relaxed, though, is the fact that I know that I have a lot of lives left. Like right there. Oh. Oh yeah, there was a secret back there that I could have got. It's an invisible bridge. Oh, I got hit by the darn bats. Let's go back to this again. Yeah. So that's actually, you can tell when I think I'm about ready to jump. I actually don't, just because that little delay in my card. That's right. Huh. For some reason I didn't trigger those boxes. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can get through one area very quickly and then... Not even going to try for the bonus. Ah! Ah! I can't win. I go forward too much, I go back too much. I understand that they had to keep control of the camera because of the polygon count, but I really don't understand why they had to choose an angle that made it so incredibly difficult for you to judge where you're going to land. Ah. Farthest I've made it. Come on, easy bonus. Well, at least I left the extra life box. That was almost tragic. I'm scooting along. %. Knowing that one of the levels is the Great Hall, it doesn't really concern me about how many levels I have left. I'm never quite sure if there's a jump there at the end, but I just make sure there isn't because I don't want to fall down a crevice again. And the good news is, now I'm saved all the way up to Castle Machinery. You know, I really wish I had the gem for that there, because it leads up to a whole bunch of lives, and then you can easily skip this stage. Which, I actually like these stages. I mean, they're not too bad in terms of difficulty, but...
What have I got?
Crash do his thing. I think that's why I always jump between those pads, because I know those are coming where I have to. So it really makes people nervous when I jump.
What have I got?
Make sure the camera doesn't fall in. Alright. Oh, yes. Yeah, I always found this level to be a lot easier than the levels around it. I don't know if they were just trying to take it easy on you after the mess you have to go through to get here. Same with the Great Hall. I don't know if they were just trying to pad their level count. I mean, true, you can make that level a lot longer than it is, but there's no enemies in it, so... Crash needs some exercise, so he's going to run on the treadmill. Yeah, I'm not going for those life boxes, I'm going for completion. I really don't like that one. But I survived. Yeah, can't be greedy on this level. We're so close to the end. Yeah. But I only missed 10 boxes. It was probably all those that I just skipped towards the end. Oh. We are almost there. Not to get too cocky, but... This is another boss fight I found harder in the Insane Trilogy, but not necessarily because they changed it, but because I felt the physics were off. Yeah, hello, almost don't count. Hey, I'll take it. Some more careful time. That's the first time I think that Naughty Dog planted a TNT box that you could not see intentionally to mess you up. Huh. I didn't realize you could destroy that up arrow box from the bottom. How can you be at 63% complete when you still have 26 gems to collect and 2 keys? Doesn't really seem possible. Yeah, these guys always throw me off. Yep. It's because they move. Oh. The sound they make when they fall is pretty darn amazing. How did that thing get me? I saw it coming a mile away. Yeah, I thought I had too many lives. I'll just go with that. How am I? Oh. Yep, I know why that happened. I have the feeling they should have made the floor look brighter because I'm having a hard time distinguishing it. Oh. And the orange blob comes back. I don't know how that thing is killing me. I'm gonna have to look at the. Yep, I am rushing. The orange blob, though, is just... Can you not pass it without killing it? There we go. Do those follow you? I can't remember. I thought he just threw them at the same spot. You can pass them. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Wrath of Cortex. Nope. It was either that or get electrocuted. Okay. There's a checkpoint. Ha! I'm just gonna chill here for a second. Oh. Oh, gosh. It's alright. There's like a very split second I'm trying to get there. And the problem is two, three. All the things that should have stopped me, that should have been out. Yep. Yeah. I hesitate, and that just gets me every time. I'm either rushing or I'm not going quick enough. One. 3. I don't know. I'm sure this is painful to watch because it's painful to do. It seems like I'm either off on my timing or the game is off on its timing. And yeah, I guess there's two types of people in the world, right? People who blame their problems on everyone else but them, and then people who blame their problems on themselves only. See, whenever I pause there, it doesn't keep going. But whenever I don't pause there, it does keep going. Yeah, it was really painful. I'm glad someone else is sharing my pain. In a different age, this is where I'd hand someone else the controller and say, alright, take over for me. Hey, that's progress. Now back to this one again. Look at that. I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm the only one seeing this. Oh, until someone goes back and rewatches it. But you know what? When you fail that many times and you finally succeed, it makes it that much more worth it. So, wow. Shit. I debated for a second of dying in this level because it is possible, but only if you are joking. Alright, time for some neocortex. I am surprised I didn't die at the Great Hall.
Done! Crash Bandicoot.
You can tell I'm getting tired because I'm missing the easy shots here. It's not even that late. That's why they got it, yeah. Well, after about 4 or 5 glitches and everything else on here, I have finally rebeat Crash Bandicoot. Again, not going for 100%. Man. I remember, too, for the longest time, I had never seen the second ending to this game, because there is an alternative ending for the 100%, and I think that was the first game, I think this is the first game I remember playing that had an alternative ending based on your percentage of completion. And I'm trying to think. I'm sure there was a couple for the Super Nintendo that had a different ending. Well, I guess Metroid gives you a different ending as well, but I guess that wasn't what I wasn't really thinking of. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if you should be thanking me. I think you should be thanking dumb luck there at the end because I was making mistakes I shouldn't have. So I guess my question is, do you want me to reset this, load my 100% game save, and show the alternate ending too? Or should I just save that for another time? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and load it. Because I'm pretty sure I still have my 100% save on it. Thankfully, I did not copy over it. Yep, there it is. So this is the save for when I 100% completed it. And this is... I never understood the purpose of the Great Hall. I really thought it was just a cheap way for them to say, oh, we have 32 levels instead of 31. But, on my luck, I'm probably going to miss one of these. What did I tell you? Oh my gosh, that is terrible. I don't think we're going to see the alternate ending. Alright. We're serious. Let's do this right. Those are practice runs, they don't count. Yep, I just beat the game normally, and then I went back and loaded my 100% save, and we're showing the ending here. This is the alternate ending. I actually like this ending better than the original one, because it gives you kind of a what happened to everyone at the end. So, Papu sold the ruins of the Castle Cortex to a real estate developer, resort developer, who then used the proceeds to open a big and tall shop off the campus. After intense therapy and 8 years of higher education, Dr. Rue went on to write the well-received book Through the Eye of the Vortex, a study of rapid evolution and its consequences. Like I had to give him like a dissertation title. Koala Kong moved to Hollywood, landed a motion picture deal of universal proportions, because they made the game, or they published the game. Currently he's working with a speech therapist to improve his diction. I wonder if they took out the deal of universal proportions out of the Insane Trilogy. Pinstripe moved to Chicago, where he now owns and operates a citywide sanitation company. He is saving money for his upcoming gubernatorial campaign. That's about right. Because I live in Illinois, I can tell you that's about right. After the disappearance of his mentor, Dr. Nicias Brio rediscovered his first love, tending bar. That's before the days of Walter White, or else they might have made a joke like that. The world has heard nothing more of Cortex since Crash foiled his plans, but evil geniuses are harder to squash than cockroaches. There we go. So, yeah, I guess that will do it for me this evening. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, especially hanging around through the glitches and everything else that happened. I haven't had that happen before, so I'll have to check what the source of that is. I don't know when my next live stream will be, because, yeah, I don't think I've 100%ed the Insane Trilogy yet on the first one. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up, or maybe I'll just have to beat that 100%. But that means going back and completing the high road there again, and I am not looking forward to doing that. I just did it here. Yeah, so I'll have to go back and edit out those glitches, and hopefully that'll make everything a little bit better. But anyway, I don't know when my next stream will be because my schedule fluctuates for work and other personal events. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to say, I should have said this at the beginning. Again, thank you guys. Because I posted my 1-year video early, I decided to do a live stream tonight because I didn't have another video to post for today. But again, thank you guys for hanging in there. I'm probably going to head up and watch some TV before I go to bed, so that'll be it for tonight. Again, thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys next time.